Step to the side, you'd better run and hide. More to the side, everybody wants to stay alive. Step to the side, you'd better run and hide. More to the side, everybody wants to stay alive.
What is your major malfunction?
Welcome to the Chabdog Sports Talk Radio Show. Sunday mornings live from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific. Where spontaneous sports talk rated R.
Don't make a fuck out of me.
Host Brandon Chabner and producer Eric the Well-Read bring you Brian from Sports Rock.
Say hello to my little friend.
And Tank's West Coast godbrother, Abe Miranda.
You see the mess of the true passion of New York.
Plus special guests, music, movie clips, comedy,
So fat, the blood type is ragu.
and always a little politics.
It comes from China.
The live call-in number is 252-585-4120. Join in the fun.
Hello.
And now, here's your host, Chabdog.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Chabdog Sports Talk. We're on each Sunday from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time. Brought to you by Chabner Law, serving Southern California's business and transactional legal needs. And by Chabdog Sports Blog for your head of your sports headlines and biting sports commentary. All right, this is the to be or not to be show. And we're going to have quite a bit of rap. And some of it you may not have heard before. I never heard this Mel Brooks rap that we've got, but very thought that was very clever. As everything he does is very clever, pretty much. And this was right up there. I like this a lot. What did you? It's kind of like the Inquisition, but it's a little bit more. I don't know. The music's a little more contemporary, catchy. Heil, 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 and we're gonna. A lot of clips, something from Stalag 17, which was the precursor to Hogan's Heroes. I don't know if anybody saw that, but that was quite good. And I don't know, you'll see just various other things. Maybe a little LaMelo highlights, La Maestro, and. Eric, you must be impressed with him. He's one of those superb athletes that just makes it look easy. You know, are you trying to be silent so that you can let me give my monologue? That's probably what it is. I didn't really have Chabdog's monologue. I had some things I wanted to say. May is a very special month because that's the month that my grandfather passed away. And I always feel really bad I never got to say goodbye to him. One of those deaths that happened instantaneously pretty much on the golf course. And, a lot of people think that's the way to go. Not to be morbid here, but you don't have a lot of pain. It happens. It's all over. But the bad thing is you don't get to say goodbye to anybody. And I wished I had gotten a few minutes of his time before he passed so I could talk to him about life and about some of the things he learned, some of the lessons he learned dealing with difficult situations, difficult people, challenges, having a heart attack like he had when he was in his mid-50s and recovering from that and having basically changing careers, but he did a great job making a change when he had to, and did very well in real estate and became kind of a self-made man. And I definitely admire people like that. So May is an important month for me, and I like to see that things are starting to open back up. It's about time. We couldn't survive like this as a nation and economy. And I hope we get back things going back so that people don't need government assistance. Because that's I think one of the most dangerous things is becoming overly dependent on the government. And that's kind of we're in a dangerous place right now. But I'm not going to say that the government funding hasn't really helped a lot, and it probably has. But we got to get weaned off of that. But anyway, I gave my 2 cents. Let's get into the show. Eric, how are you doing? Got Eric, Eric Sove, my co-host, and also Abe Miranda's calling in, and this is the regular group of participants right now.
Hey, Chabdog.
So, yes, good to see you as always. Thank you for making your place available for us. I got Bingo here, too.
He's sound asleep.
Yeah. It's very relaxing in the background.
Well, Chabdog, we got quite a show. You touched on some of it. I'll touch on the rest of it here. We're going to cover a bit about Roberto Alomar's is now a non-employee of MLB and is being erased from its history. We'll cover that anyway. The 49ers and other teams in the draft, we'll cover that. We got, including the Dolphins and the Steelers, the Kentucky Derby. There's a diaper shortage, and it's been traced to Aaron Rodgers. Got Dom Smith versus Jose Alvarado, and that was quite a match.
Is it diapers or tampons?
This time it's diapers.
Okay.
There's been a Randy Quaid sighting.
Yes.
Today's show.
And we have a Randy Quaid clip, by the way, don't we?
We do. We got some Randy Quaid ready for there. We'll cover that in a moment.
Cousin Eddie.
Today's show is the To Be or Not To Be show. So we have that great clip you mentioned there from Mel Brooks, clips from Stalag 17, My Cousin Vinny, The Wild Bunch. Got some Barbara Eden going there, some Pal Joey, Frank Sinatra, Road Trip, that Talking Dog, Ice Ice. Yeah, we got music from Ice Ice Baby, Girl Can't Help It, Bust a Move, Funky Cold Medina, and the Humpty Dance. And at half past the hour, it's time for the Chabdog Racing segment hosted by Abe Miranda.
That doesn't even,
So stick around, everybody. We got an action-packed show here.
Yeah, Abe's on. Is Abe on the line?
Abe is on the line.
Okay, well, I'd like to welcome you in. How are you, Abe? It's great seeing you, by the way. Yeah.
I'm doing great. Doing great. It's always a lot of fun to be here with the Chabdog family. Yeah. And of course, when I mean Chabdog family, I mean everybody, the listeners, the followers, everybody on the Facebook page. So big shout out to all of them, and just to let them know I'm just happy to be here today to provide you guys with a great racing update today. There's a lot of racing this week. As you know, you've already mentioned it. We had the Kentucky Derby. We had NASCAR coming up a little later today, and then we've got the F1. So excited for the racing segment later.
Yeah, and
an update on all of that.
So, did you watch the Derby race? Did you see it? Did you see how it shook out?
Yes, actually, I did. There was I liked this one horse. I believe it was called Soup and Sandwich. I really liked that horse. Didn't have good odds, but I liked the name. I liked the horse. It was a pretty horse. And I will tell you, for about almost 3/4 of that race, Soup and Sandwich was like number 2. So it was really that final stretch where, of course, it was game over for Soup and Sandwich. Soup and Sandwich ran out of gas, so
it finished out of the money. The horse did not show
or place.
Yeah, no, it didn't place. So it fell way out. So but it was a good 3/4 of a race, but.
Yeah, so you ended up upset like the mush in the Bronx Tale, the horse race. Remember?
Well, I'll put it this way: there was no soup or sandwich for me yesterday in the Kentucky Derby. So
did Medina did Funky Medina just explode at the end? How did that horse win it?
Yes, it was pretty much that they last quarter of the race. It was just Medina just took off and was there, but it was tight though. It was really tight with Mandaloon and Red Hot Hot Rod Charlie. So it was really, you know, they were kind of all over the place, but of course it's what's coming out of the backstretch, and really just you know, it's always those last 30 seconds that are just the most intense. And of course Medina was just came up and got the lead right there and kept it, was able to keep it for the last quarter of the race. And
for the whole quarter.
I can just imagine.
Like about a quarter, started to get there. Again, you know, Soup and Sandwich was like in second, so it just things just shuffled and
this fell
it
away.
was good.
We should probably
let's play the Medina. This is in honor of the winning horse.
Yeah,
this is the winning horse
got
song.
the real Medina song. I love this song.
Come on.
Come on.
Cool and at a bar, and I'm looking for some action. But like Mick Jagger said, I can't get no satisfaction. The girls are all around, but none of them wanna get with me. My threads are fresh and I'm looking deaf. Yo, what's up with LOC? The girls is all jocking at the other end of the bar, having drinks with some no-name chump when they know that I'm a star.
Early
so
80s,
I got
you
strolled over to the other side of the cantina. I asked the guy why he's so fly. He said, "Funky."
So I was in college. I just remember this quite a lot.
This brother told me a secret on how to get more chicks. Put a little in your glass and the girls will come real quick. It's better than any alcohol or aphrodisiac. A couple of sips of this love potion and she'll be on your lap. So I gave some to my dog when he began to beg, and then he licked his bowl and he looked at me and did a wild thing on my leg. He used to scratch and bite me before he was much meaner, but now all the poodles run to my house for the funky Cold Medina. You know what I'm saying?
I like all the dogs.
I got every dog in my neighborhood breaking down my door. I got Spuds, McKenzie, Alex, and Strohs.
Hey,
Won't
old
leave
man.
my dog alone with that Medina, pal.
How about that? Make me some blueberry pancakes.
I
we got
went
that
up
coming
to
up.
this girl. She said, "Hi, my name is Sheena." I thought she'd be good to go with a little funky Cold Medina. She said, "I like a drink." I said, well, I'll go get it. And then a couple of sips, she go lick the lips, and I knew that she was with it. So I took her to my crib, and everything went well as planned. And when she got her dress, it was a big old mess. Sheena was a man. So I threw her out. I don't fool
you ever
around
see
with no
Especially with the
Oscar
heat. No, I
Mayer
forgot
wiener.
about it.
You must be sure that your girl is pure for the funky Cold Medina. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no plans with a man.
Well,
Don't
This
know.
is the 80s and low is down with the ladies. No joke. Break it down.
hammer time.
He's getting rejected. He had quite a few songs, you know?
Yeah. He ain't no Beethoven.
He had a lot of songs. He did well, though, didn't he?
I don't know.
I think he did.
Define well.
Tone Loc. Some of these guys made a lot of
In
money.
the saddle.
Yeah, they blew a lot. They
For
spent a lot of
little
money.
affection. I took it as a contestant on
I like
the
Wild
Love
Thing as well.
Connection.
That's a good song.
The audience voted, and you know they picked a winner. I took my date to the Hilton for Medina and some dinner. We had a few drinks. I'm thinking soon what I'll be getting. Instead, she started talking about plans for a wedding. So I grabbed my coat and hit the door. I said, "Baby, I'll be seeing ya." That's why I found you don't fool around with the funky Cold Medina. You know what I'm saying? That Medina's a monster. Funky Cold Medina.
All right. right, the winner of the Kentucky Derby. We've just appropriated the name.
Medina Spirit, actually, is the full name.
Funky Cold Medina won 1989.
So that was as the 80s were ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now the next leg of the Triple Crown is the Preakness.
Wow.
That's coming up in a few weeks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually mid-May. And then the last one is the Belmont Stakes, which is
Dick fucking Tracy.
longest race.
Mm-hmm.
That one's in early June, I think. That's the Triple Crown. So now that becomes the big speculation. Will this horse get 2 or will it get 3?
Mm-hmm.
Be just stuck on 1.
Mm. Yeah, I'm already bored.
Do you think this is the kind of horse that could really do that again?
Yeah, what do you think, Abe?
You know, it's possible. I mean, Bob Baffert's, this is like the 7th time he's won the Kentucky Derby, and that was a really good horse. Of course, you know, Mandaloon was also up there, and so it's going to be interesting what happens here at the Preakness Stakes. So we got to stay tuned to see. But yeah, I think so. I think Medina has a good shot at it. I mean, a lot better shot than Soup and Sandwich, I can tell you that much.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, Soup and Sandwich.
Soup and Sandwich.
Belongs in a delicatessen.
So, Abe, you been watching the Mets lately?
Oh, the Mets. Yeah, let's talk about the Mets.
Let's talk about the Mets.
Yeah.
And I know it's a trick question. Like, I already know the answer to the question. Of course, yeah, you've been watching the Mets lately, haven't you?
Yes, I've been watching the Mets lately, and they had a horrible
Did you?
their last show.
Did you see the headline I wrote about one of their games? It was the game that was like 2-1 or something. Philadelphia. I think it was Philadelphia won 2-1, or the Mets won. I think it was Philadelphia won 2-1, and there was like no offense. The teams were terribly dead at the plate, but there was a big brawl.
Yeah.
There
was Dom Smith versus Jose Alvarado. And you know what Smith said to him? You remember? Do you hear the line? He said, "Meet me in the tunnel." Yeah, Jose, you think you're a tough guy? You come meet me in the tunnel, says Dom Smith.
I don't think Tank likes Dom Smith.
He might. Hey, he had a pulse there. He might have liked that.
Oh,
Abe, do you think Tank would say something good about Dom Smith there?
You know, I don't know with Tank. I mean, who knows? I mean, one day he loves them all, one day he hates them all. But I would say he would be okay with that one.
I think he'd be okay with
Little
that.
Dom Smith.
Dom Smith.
I think he'd be okay. I think he would be.
My theory is that those guys decided to fight, start swinging because they each felt like they had to hit something. They weren't hitting the ball, so they had to try to hit another player.
That's clever.
Yeah.
Here, I got Tank on Dom Smith. Let's get his opinion on this.
Dom, 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 de doo doo da, wah, 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 whoa, whoa. I was fat and the meds told me to lose some weight, but didn't realize my fat was where my power was at. Now I swing and miss it everything I can. Hit the ball past the infield. I really can't do much of anything.
I know that song. That's a 50s song.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have much of a use, but the Mets have me up because I can't play in the minors anymore. Because I'm a waste of a talent. Oh, the Mets chose me over Aaron Judge, who is an all-star. But I am a very bad player. I really, really do stink. Whoa. And Mickey Callaway, stop insulting our intelligence. We are smart. We know what's going on. You don't. We do. You're an idiot.
So he sings this fantastic song and then he scolds Mickey Callaway. I'm sure he's
Come
been
Go
blocked
With
by
Me.
him,
Come Go With Me is the name of that song.
Oh, dude. Wow.
It's a 50s song. It's a great song. You could find it on YouTube.
Doris Day or someone? Who sang that?
No, it's a great song. It's just like one of those 50s songs
Oh, I know.
When rock and roll was kind of in its infancy.
Yeah, it's too
Come
bad
go
someone
with
didn't
me.
strangle that baby in the crib.
No, that's Come
it's
Fly With Me.
Sinatra, for sure.
You would like it if you heard it. So Tank tried to pull something off there with that. That was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So the Mets have been. They had a win, 5-4 win, I think, with Michael Conforto hitting. Getting a big hit.
Wasn't that a good win there?
That was a great one. That was yesterday. They did. That one that just came out of nowhere, which was great because, we were just looking at a nasty losing streak this week, and so it was good to at least get one in. Of course, those Boston Red Sox. Of course, it's
you want to talk about the Red Sox, huh? We took care of you guys.
The Red Sox just plowed through the Mets.
Yeah.
So.
Mets didn't muster much resistance up. They weren't hitting at all.
I'll tell you what. If this was the rebellion and they were the empire, I'll tell you what. We just got overran by Lord Vader here. So it was good.
You guys got overrun. Hey, didn't you get that? I didn't send you that clip for the Battle of Islawana.
Yeah, man, those are like 14-minute long clips, and they're very.
I know.
Yeah, you sent them.
I know, but great imagery.
No, yeah,
that was
great imagery. Yeah, if you want to sit there and describe it on the radio, be my guest.
That was what's that's like what happened to you getting overrun
by Zulus. Yeah, on top of that, I'm not even sure it's politically correct to even make such references.
What?
Unless you're talking about the freedom.
It's part of our fucking history. What's not improper about it?
I didn't know you were part Zulu. Excuse me.
Well, it's part of world history.
You look like a Schwartz to me.
It's part of world history.
Oh, world history.
Yeah.
Now the white man is appropriating history and saying it's ours.
Colonialism is part of what our race is about, right?
Oh, I see. You're just talking about the British. I thought for a second you were warming and
he's
talking
getting
about
very
we're all
politically
human
correct, isn't he?
I'm confused.
Do you have a government job or something? You worried that somebody's going to fire you for being associated with that video?
Yeah, not at all.
I'm not.
No, I just let my mind wander.
Hey,
sometimes.
the whites got massacred. That was an amazing situation where they had all the weapons, but the numbers were not in their favor.
They didn't have enough bullets. They couldn't get the bullets.
Do you know who was in that? Was Burt Lancaster was in that?
Was he in? There was somebody else I recognized.
And Peter O'Toole.
Peter O'Toole. Thank you.
He played the pompous English asshole general who wanted to have a nice picnic lunch while this was happening.
Yeah, they're all drinking wine at the table of the shade on china plates. Yeah,
that is really
a spectacular scene. Of Rome falling before your very eyes.
I don't know. There's something wrong with me because I watched that like every night this week for about a half hour. I get like into the military history and stuff like battles.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, it was a brilliant battle. Yeah.
And it was just
the beginning of the end of the British.
There was a big difference between that and the Zulu movie, which I sent you before, which was much more staged, and
well,
dramatic.
That movie glorified the British, conquering the Zulus. The other movie had it the other way around.
The other movie was like, this is what happened. The British didn't plan. They thought they could do anything,
Yeah. And
this is the first time that a conventional army has gotten swarmed like that, as far as I'm aware. And that's why people remember it.
No, the swarmings happened before in long.
I'm sure it has.
Mongrels.
I heard that this was a unique battle.
The Mongolian battles, Genghis Khan and his people, they would just swarm and overwhelm their adversaries.
One side had all the guns, the other side had spears and shields. But actually, once the British started getting killed, they grabbed the guns.
Yeah, you get too close, those weapons don't work. So.
Yeah,
you're hand to hand.
But they had some incredible. There's one scene in there where the British were running out of bullets, and so the guy told the servant guy who was getting all the bullets to go get more, but there was this line for the bullets, and this old cantankerous, crusty guy at the front was giving out the bullets, but he wouldn't let anybody break rank. He had to keep the line, He was being very organized, and it's like not even aware of what was going on, the utter chaos that was about to ensue.
Mm-hmm.
But he would not let anybody break ranks. It was just the rigid British ways.
Yeah, just like Tank on 5-2
And Mickey will probably
players.
say, I like the spirit. Dom Smith. Here's another one. This is a 5-2 player, the Mets called him. A 5-2 player. You know, when the Mets say 5-2 player, you know he's going to suck. This goes all the way back to Alex Ochoa. He's a 5-2 player. He's a 5-2 player.
What does that
Comes
even
up,
mean?
nothing. Jay Payton, 5-2 player. Comes up, nothing. Alex Escobar, 5-2 player. Comes up, nothing. Lansing's Millage, a 5-2 player. Comes up, nothing. Fernando Martinez, a
some
5-2
kind of term of
player.
art,
Comes
I guess,
up,
but
nothing.
I don't know what it means.
And now
Maybe it
Dom
knows what it
Smith, the man the Mets
Dom Smith.
drafted ahead of Aaron Judge. Nothing. I mean,
Abe, do you know what a 5-2 player is? You got a guess?
Did we lose
Go
him?
for it.
Oh, no.
Okay, Chabdog? Let's just try and put this together, because
5-2 does. I don't know. What is 5 and 2? That's 7.
how about the positions?
Is that all the positions on the field except catcher and
Well, what's the 5 and the 2 position?
pitcher? I don't.
No?
Yeah. What do those numbers mean? No, the baseball positions have a. If you keep score in the baseball game, like on a scorecard, I think
that's what it's referring to, yeah.
positions have numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember what 5 and what 2 is.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. At least we narrowed it down.
This is where we really miss Tank. He could have just told us immediately. Well,
We'll keep it rolling, Chabdog. I'm looking
all
it
right.
up.
I mean, so we're talking about the Mets and their struggles, and obviously the Red Sox are not struggling.
Yeah, let's talk some Red Sox
What do you think,
baseball. Pirates.
Abe? Do you have the sense that this Red Sox team is going to be a special team, like the 4 other ones, or 3 other ones? No, 4 other ones. We've won 4 world championships in the last 20 years.
You're right.
Well,
Catcher's
they're
number 2.
they're doing well. I mean, it's
You've seen J.D. Martinez
It's
is really
very
on
possible.
a hot streak. He's hitting everything, and he's got 9 home runs in April, I think. So that guy's definitely making a play for the Triple Crown. And usually every year there's somebody that does that. But I'm pleasantly surprised to see. I mean, I was worried he wasn't hitting the ball out a lot in the very beginning of the year, and then people started to worry. But he's righted the ship. So, in terms of baseball, I don't know, not a lot of other things. I guess the Dodgers continue to do well, though they had some losses. Yeah, Milwaukee's actually a pretty tough team. Milwaukee beat them, and the Dodgers may have some dips during the year. They're not, I guess, invincible, but we'll see. And
There's the Roberto Alomar news.
Roberto Alomar.
You ever heard of
Why don't you
Roberto
tell us about
Alomar,
that?
Abe? Do you remember him? He was on the Mets for a while. But that's not where he made his name with the Toronto Blue Jays.
He's second baseman.
Yeah, he won the World Series with the Jays back when they were doing it. And,
I think
and
is he in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, yes, he is, and he's remembered for spitting on an umpire.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty bad thing.
That was a pretty bad thing, and yet he still got in the Hall of Fame.
Who was the umpire that he spit on? You remember?
Oh, jeez.
I think it was John Hirschbeck.
Okay, Chabdog.
Well, it's part of it. It's part of the lore of the whole thing.
Yes.
Knowing who was.
So in any
who
event,
was spit on.
he was formerly employed by Major League Baseball, and he's been removed. And any of his associations with baseball is also being removed.
Do you remember what the position was that he had with baseball?
I don't know the specific position. I think I read it, but it wasn't anything that memorable. Some kind of special consultant.
And the
some
blurb
department.
just said that he's been removed as an employee due to domestic allegations,
sexual harassment complaints that are not that remain sealed with no further details. Alomar himself said, he is requesting a forum where he can address these concerns.
Oh, so he says that. Did he say something like, "I didn't do anything wrong"?
Yes, he's disagreeing with it, but he's disagreeing with it and saying, "Hey, like I don't, can I face my accuser? Can we talk about this?"
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it kind of seems like he might.
But he's not being given that opportunity, and maybe it's because there's
all
kinds
just
of
seems
confidentiality agreements
why don't
keeping
they just,
the parties from speaking.
Why don't they just take him off the air for a while and see say they can see what happens instead of firing him?
Well, it seems like they're jumping to conclusions, but maybe the guy really is a serial abuser, and they want to get rid of him.
Yeah, we don't know,
and they don't want to disclose all the details of it, but
saying.
they know for sure they are. But it's
in this
but
day
they know
and
for
age,
sure.
it's not. It's not surprising that something like that got done with no due process. It just happened.
Yeah, but did it happen? Yeah, because it should it have due process? Should all of them have due process?
Well, I think everything has to be proven.
Well, they don't
depends on your. I mean, depends on your contract, I guess.
Well, maybe they don't have to publicly prove it, but they can still fire them because they have the evidence that it's not going.
Yeah, it may be a breach of contract. I don't know.
Yeah, there we go. That's what the term. Yeah, they've got a confidentiality agreement, so they can keep all this silent, but the board can agree. Yeah, you violated these offenses. We're firing you. Good luck.
I'm just not surprised to see Major League Baseball do something quickly and maybe not with a lot of thought, just doing it.
Yeah, just like jerking the All-Star game out of Georgia.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that was decisive.
You know what else? You know what else is fast?
Yeah. Oh, I love this. I need this every Sunday.
Here comes Speed Racer. He's a demon on wheels. He's a demon and he's gonna be chasing after someone. He's gaining on you, so you better look alive. He's busy revving up the powerful Mach 5. And when the odds are against him and there's dangerous work to do, bet your life's Speed Racer. See it through. Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go! He's up and flying as he guns a car around the track. He's jamming down the pedal like he's never coming back. Adventure's waiting just ahead. Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go!
And we have Abe Miranda with his racing update for the week. So take it away, Abe. The floor is yours.
So we got a couple things going on. Of course, we have the Kentucky Derby, which we kind of talked about at the beginning of the show, with Medina Spirit in first, Mandaloon in second, and Hot Rod Charlie in third place. And of course, we're going to be looking for the next race, the Preakness, as far as will Medina Spirit be able to win that one as well. And then from there, we're going to jump into Formula One. We did have today the Heineken Gran Premio de Portugal. That one just concluded right before the show started. And our winners there was Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes, Max Verstappen in the Honda Red Bull car, and in third place was Valtteri Bottas, again in the Mercedes, which I did get to watch the qualifying race, and I will say that Valtteri Bottas, he was the leader there, and he was looking pretty good. So not surprised that he's in third place in today's race. There is a couple things in Formula One news that I just wanted to bring up real quickly. First of all, if you're following us on the Facebook Chabdog Sports Talk Show, I did put up a virtual tour of the new Miami racing circuit that will take place starting next year. So that is something that is up on our on the Facebook page.
Yes, check that out, and please.
You can check that out. Check out the virtual tour of the Miami Grand Prix next year. Other thing to keep in mind is that we mentioned it a couple shows ago that there was problems with the Canadian Grand Prix being hosted this year in Canada due to quarantine rules. We talked about that one, and it has been confirmed that the Canadian Grand Prix has been canceled for 2021, and it has been relocated to the Turkish Grand Prix, and it will take place at the Istanbul Park circuit. So that is F1 news.
Tank, that should be called the
Abe.
That should be called the. I know. I'm just
Shadow, but I'm not that big.
Mini Tank. No, that should be called the Istan Red Bull circuit.
No, you know what it's called? The Midnight Express.
That's even better. Midnight Express. Oh man.
So that's going on. Now there's other couple things I did want to mention, at least for today's Portugal race. One of the interesting things about that Portugal race circuit is that they do have about 25,000 solar panels that you can see through the hills and you can see around the racetrack. And that's actually what's providing the juice for the racetrack. So one of those forward-thinking racetracks where they got 25,000 solar panels out there, and you can see them when the cars are racing. And they're trying to be very sustainable, at least with the racetrack. Now another thing
that's for the lighting at night,
or are the cars electric?
Yeah. No, it's not for the cars. It's, for the pits, for the stadium.
I didn't know that
for the stands.
They were done at night like that a lot. Are they usually done at night?
Well, that race wasn't done at night, but it would be. They would, if they were to do it at night, then I would assume that would go towards that. But I'm thinking more of like the grandstands. The electricity that you'll need to run the concession stands and booths and the pit.
I know. I thought about
beer machine.
I thought about electric cars too for a while when he was talking about that. I couldn't figure it out at first.
The toilets,
like when you were a kid, you had those little cars.
Yeah, the Hot Wheels they plug in, juicers.
Sorry.
And then, and so that's pretty much what's going on in Formula One. Now, what is interesting is that this year they're introducing a new sprint type of race in the qualifying. So traditionally in Formula One, you would just run the circuit in the fastest time, sets up your pole position for the big Sunday race. Mm-hmm. Well, what they're going to kind of do this year is they got 3 races where they're going to experiment with a sprint-style qualifying race. So what will happen is that the cars will qualify the same way. They're going to run the fastest laps on the circuit. Now, once they've done that, what that does is it sets up the pole position for a sprint qualifying race on Saturday. And so what will happen was you get your pole position through the qualifying lap, but then you get a 60-kilometer race, sprint race, and that sets up the final pole position for the Sunday's big race. So you will, and the winners, the top 3 of that sprint race will get racing points for winning that sprint race. So you get a mini race on Saturday, and that sets up the final pole position for the big race on Sunday. So this season they're going to do an experimental with about 3 races. It's kind of hard to see where it was. I was looking yesterday to see if it was in Portugal, but I didn't see it. So we'll have to see if it's going to be at different races. But as I find out, I'll post it on the website so that people can tune into that. So that's what's coming out of the F1. Of course, last week we left off with the Geico 500 at Talladega Speedway. That one was a great race. It was a 500-mile race. It was 188 laps. And it ended up being Brad Keselowski from the Ford, William Byron in the Chevy, and Michael McDowell in the Ford. Of course, that was a pretty interesting race. Of course, when you're going nearly 200 miles per hour, there are some massive or some pretty intense wrecks. The first real big wreck that happened at Daytona actually was an ARCA car that was piloted by Derek Lancaster. He was. This is not the NASCAR race, but it was an ARCA race. And even though I think ARCA is somewhat owned by NASCAR, but we had one car that actually ran into the wall and caught on fire, and it took a long time to get Derek Lancaster out of the car while it was up in flames. And he was taken to the hospital, and he was put on a ventilator for a couple days. But his wife had been giving us updates, and it appears that he has come off the ventilator and that he is recovering with second to third degree burns on his face, on his neck, and then on his arm. So that, of course, thoughts and prayers to Derek Lancaster's family, and for speedy recovery there. Of course, there was now in the main event, at least the NASCAR Cup Series race, so we did have Joey Logano, who he's up there in the 22 car, and he wrecked about lap 60.
Joey Gallo.
Joey Logano.
Joey Logano?
Did I say it wrong?
No, we're just mentioning other Joeys we know that are famous. Joey Votto.
My pal Joey.
That's where I got the pal Joey idea.
Pal Joey.
Joey Votto had a big game.
Yep.
I love that guy. Anyway, tell us, so Joey Logano is doing well, isn't he?
Well, he's doing Joey Logano. He's had a pretty gnarly crash. He actually took off. He actually went flying, and he went so high in the air,
like Speed Racer's car.
He flew. I think he flew over other NASCAR cars. So he took a break.
Wait, you mean
flying.
He got a NASCAR in the air?
The car was airborne?
Well,
yeah.
And flew over other cars.
The car went airborne. Yeah, it went airborne.
It's like the Speed Racer thing where the car goes into the air. I also sent you a clip. It's from a movie where it's like a Grand Prix race in Europe, and the car ends up going off the road into the lake. Another flying car.
Yeah, it's really funny, Chabdog.
Well, it's a great scene out of the movie.
That was done by stuntmen, so nobody was hurt in the filming of that.
So I'm just shocked to hear the car went flying like that. So what happened to the guy?
Joey survived, right?
He survived, right?
Yes.
Thank God.
Yes, he did. He actually was able to walk away from the car, and I think
I knew that.
One of the things that Joey Logano had mentioned was that he's very appreciative of all the safety features that they put on the cars, especially at Talladega, where the speeds are just incredibly fast. I mean, they call it a super speedway because they literally haul ass.
Well, but nobody has hauled ass around that track as fast as Buddy Baker, right?
Well, the record was we sent something out on that on the Facebook. I think, but wasn't Buddy Baker for the Daytona 500?
Yeah, you're right. It's the Daytona 500.
Well, let's hear him. Let's hear it here.
Hi, I'm Brock Yates, and this happens to be one of the fastest bass boats on the lake, and its owner, one of the fastest drivers in Grand National stock car racing today. He's also a very intriguing individual, and I think you're going to enjoy meeting him, because today, the man we meet is Buddy Baker, number 21 on the great drivers.
He's a big bass fisherman too.
I think he looks like Will Ferrell. Look at him a little. He's got...
Man, this is a cheesy show.
He's a good old boy.
Yeah,
There he
from the
is.
south.
To Buddy Baker, second place is no place. Known for his prowess on high-bank super speedways, Baker is a relentless competitor who refuses to settle for anything less than outright victory. His win in the 1980 Daytona 500, in which he averaged over 177 miles an hour, stands as the fastest 500-mile race in history. The son of retired Grand National star Buck Baker, Buddy now limits his racing to about 20 super speedway races a year. He has 19 Grand National wins to his credit and spends most of his leisure time bass fishing near his beachfront home at Lake Norman, North Carolina. Baker is also an amateur painter and has two sons, Brian and Brandon, who aspire to racing careers.
Brandon.
Buddy, I'll tell you something. This looks like a Grand National version of a bass boat.
Well, Buck, it's one of the best boats I've ever
can't you
had.
see Ricky Bobby
for
there?
fishing and everything, it's equipped
Yeah.
with everything that
Will Ferrell was challenged.
everybody could put on it.
Exactly.
And, it's just a super boat. It runs right around 70 miles an hour. It's got power trim for the motor. If you get into a shallow water area, you got foot controls and all. And,
I like this guy.
button, it actually raises the engine up so you can go into a foot and a half of water and
Great
just keep
accent.
going right along. And
Is the lake good for fishing? Is it a good bass lake?
I think it's very good. It's got a lot of striped bass in here, a lot of crappie, and a lot of largemouth. And it just depends on the time away from
Okay,
the
enough of
business.
this.
And when
Some
you go back to
largemouth.
it, you got a fresh approach.
How many days a year can you get out and fish?
Well, unfortunately, I was really looking forward to taking you fishing today. Been a project,
Enough of this.
just something to really put a lot of time into. And
That living room is
the good part
ghastly.
about it, I didn't have
Oh
to
my
hurry because it's
Well, you don't like his
like you
living room?
said, it's a lake house and
No.
something to really enjoy. So if I wanted to do a wall today,
Oh, it's got wood paneling and he's
keep it
sitting-
in track that this is the 70s or whatever.
sofa is sitting on it,
This
has
is-
roses on it.
That's dated.
Oh, heck yeah, it is. But it looked dated then. That's, ugh.
Okay.
All right, great. Well, at least he was great behind the wheel.
No, he looks like he's got his got his shit together. That guy. We had the race car driver on as a guest. You remember that?
Which one?
There was one race car driver that was on. It was about 3-4 years ago. It was quite a while ago. I forgot his name.
Okay.
I have to check it out. But
You're horrible.
Abe, you would have liked this interview because this guy talked about how meticulous these race car drivers are.
Oh, that's right.
Everything is kind of mapped out in advance, and there's no wasted motion.
Yeah,
and,
right down
you know,
to the slightest details.
Remember
yes,
he talked about
I
that?
remember that. Oh, that was fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So that's one of the things about probably most race car drivers are just like that. They're incredibly organized in their thinking and efficient.
Yeah, incredibly.
Yeah, I mean, you got to, right? I mean, the thing is we're talking about quarter seconds, and it's crazy how difficult it can be to gain, a quarter second or half a second on other cars. It's very challenging, and all of those things have to, everything has to run smooth, especially inside the cockpit of the stock car, to make sure that things are. You're maximizing every single move inside that car to try to gain every kind of advantage you can, and I can't even imagine the science that those guys need to go through to get to that level where everything is calculated and everything is done as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
It sounded like,
and then, of course, and then there's the thing about the guys at home, they're on their simulator or they're I know in Formula One, the F1 guys are memorizing the track circuit. They're memorizing on which turns they what kind of RPM they should be, or what gear they should be on every turn, and they just map out that entire circuit in their minds because every little move. Knowing every corner and every speed and what gear you need to be at to take a turn. I mean, all of that's got to be mapped out on your head. And so there's also all that homework that goes in, which I would assume is very much like football players who watch film prior to their games or they review film to look at their opponents and study them. So I think a lot of that is also happening behind the scenes. And, you know, just speaking of NASCAR, today, just to inform the listeners, and I post this up on the Chabdog Facebook site, is today we have the Mick Bush Race 400.
Yeah.
And that one's in Kansas City, Kansas. And that's going to be a 400-mile race, and that's 267 laps. And that's going to be at the Kansas Speedway. You'll be able to watch that today, 12 p.m. Chabdog time, which is Pacific Standard Time, and 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And that you will be able to watch on FS1. And now an interesting fact about Kansas City Speedway is that the very first race was held in 2001, and the inaugural race was won by my favorite NASCAR driver, Jeff Gordon. So that was a little interesting fact about the Kansas City Speedway, or Kansas Speedway, which is in Kansas City, Kansas. We're, of course, this is the time where I like to talk about the, you know, who takes the checkered flag.
Yeah.
And of course, in today's race, I'm going to go with Martin Truex Jr. and the number 19 car of Joe Gibbs Racing to take my checkered. He did great last race. Now he did great until about a couple laps to go, where he had a tire that blew out, and of course that cost him the race. So sadly, his car, one of his tires blew out, but he was running great. He was having a great race, and unfortunately, he wasn't able to. It's kind of a shame. You lead, you know, you're up there in the front for a you know, good portion of the race, and then the tire goes out. That was unfortunate. I did pick Denny Hamlin last week as my checkered, and unfortunately with Denny Hamlin, he had a couple pit violations, and that made him have to go through the pits again.
An open
and he
pit
had to
violation.
do that twice. So, and that happened kind of towards the end of the race. So Denny Hamlin was leading and doing some good stuff, but he got into some speeding violations down at the pit stop. And as a matter of fact, he had two of them, and that slowed him down there towards the end. He wasn't able to make it up. And then he actually ended up going into making some contact and having a minor wreck out there. So he was not doing too well at the end of that race. So that happened to my check. My checkered went up in flames last week.
Yeah.
But this week I'm hoping for a little bit better results, and we'll see. Of course, you know, got your phone numbers to the show. We're going to be posting that up there on social media.
Yeah, we were playing with that on Twitter yesterday.
Right. Yeah, call in and tell us who takes your checkered flag. Not sure. How about you, Eric? Do you have anybody in mind?
Oh, I love that. Truax, I love that suggestion with Truax. Of course, I'm partial to the Joe Gibbs Racing team, and I haven't heard Truax's name called lately, so I'm throwing my hat in the ring for Truax as well.
Okay. I think Truax is
Buddy Baker.
I think Truax is going to run over Attack, and his car's going to blow again.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to put my money on Joey Logano. He's going to come back out of the hospital and drive to victory.
Bandages wrapped around his head.
Either Joey Logano or Joey Gallo from My Cousin Vinny.
Oh,
Don't we have a My Cousin Vinny clip?
Yes, we do. We do.
Wait.
Don't talk to me sitting in that chair.
That's Herman Mustard. He made that. He really did a good job in that.
He told me to sit here.
When you're addressing this court, you will rise and speak to me in a clear, intelligible voice.
Sorry. My client's on.
What are you wearing?
Huh?
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing clothes. I don't get the question.
Your leather jacket. Open collar
When you come
shirt.
into my court looking like you do,
Leather jacket.
you not only insult me, but you insult the integrity of this court.
I apologize, sir, but this is how I dress.
Next time you come into my courtroom, you will look loyally. And I mean you comb your hair and wear a suit and tie. And that suit better be made out of some kind of cloth. You understand me?
Yes. Fine, Judge, fine.
Good, you may continue. How do your clients plead?
Is it possible the two youths...
No, he's wearing a...
To what?
It's like a tux from a wedding or something.
What was that word?
It's a thrift shop
what word?
thing.
To what?
What?
Did you say utes?
Yeah, two youths.
What is a ute?
Oh,
It's the
excuse me, Your
University
Honor.
of Utah.
Two youths.
There we go.
Is it possible the two defendants entered the store, picked 22 specific items off of the shelves, had the clerk take money, make change, then leave? Then two different men drive up in a similar... Don't shake your head. I'm not done yet. Wait till you hear the whole thing so you can understand this now.
That was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of many good scenes in that movie. So sorry we kind
got
of
off track there.
segued there, but yeah, I hope it's a good race. And Denny Hamlin, he's just one of these days he's got to win, right?
Oh, we're going for Truex. But fine.
Well, Denny Hamlin, he hasn't won anything this year, and he's still up there as the points leader because he's a lot like Soup and Sandwich, I would say. He's
of course, his name is Denny.
Good. 3/4 of the race, he's there, but come the final stretch, it all goes to hell, guys. So, Soup and Sandwich is Denny Hamlin's story this year so far. He has not won a race this season. Martin Truex Jr. has, but Denny Hamlin hasn't, and he's just been out. I guess you could say he's cold turkey right now. Now, one thing to keep in mind, 2 weeks from now, we are going to have another Formula One race, just so you know, and that's going to be the F1 Aramarco Gran Premio de España 2021 in the circuit of Barcelona. Not Barcelona. Barcelona.
Okay.
Barcelona. And that's going to be over there in Spain, where everybody's going to be eating tapas and having jamon serrano.
Everybody's going to be
and
what,
partying it up
topless?
there in Barcelona.
Jamon.
Did he say everybody's going to be topless?
Jamon. Tapas. They're going to be topless eating tapas. Yes, you heard correctly.
Eating prosciutto. They're going to be eating tapas, and they're going to be enjoying the wonderful weather in Barcelona. That is a city that I have been to, and I love that city. It's beautiful. Just to give the viewers a little tip on what Barcelona is like, it's very much like San Francisco and San Diego had a baby, and that's Barcelona. It's very coastal. There's a harbor. Very San Diego feeling. The weather is very similar to San Diego, very nice. And then it's also very artistic city. There's a lot of artists that congregate in Barcelona, and they have like the very famous Spanish cathedral, the Sagrada Familia. And then, of course, they have a lot of different artists who have done various different type of architecture throughout the city that's very unique, very beautiful.
Is that where they have a lot of
it's
Gaudi?
Thank you.
Gaudi, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love him.
Parque Güell, and then I
Picasso,
believe
maybe.
Gaudi.
Yeah, they just have museums. They have a beautiful shipping museum there. You get to see a lot of the older ships. Things of that nature, very, very coastal city. I believe Christopher Columbus departed out of Barcelona, and then before heading off to the Americas, and there we go. So a little bit of, I guess I could get a little excited about that.
Okay, we're going to hit our break here. Yeah, I heard Barcelona's a lot like San Diego and San Francisco without the Americans. But anyway, we're going to come up on the second hour of the Chabdog Sports Talk Show. We're going to take a little break here, but we're still going to be around. We got some great clips here for your play during the break. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Hang on, we'll be right back.
We're told that greatness is exceptional, when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit DefyLifeGear.com to get fitted for greatness.
The Law Office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
Like Chabdog said, he was 100% right.
He can take all comers.
drank wine from the Rhine with the finest ladies, and we did it in the back of my black Mercedes. I was on a roll I couldn't lose. Then came D-Day, the birth of the blues. Jacks and the bricks started raising cane. Those guys were pissed, drove me insane. People all around me started swallowing pills. Let's face it, folks, we was going down the hill. Berlin was crumbling, we was under the gun. Time to look out for number one. So I grabbed a blonde and a case of beer. Said, the Russians are coming, let's get out of here.
Sits down.
Come on and play. Come on and play. Anytime now.
This here's a jam for all the fellas. Try to do what those ladies tell us. Get shot down because you're overzealous. Play hard to get females get jealous. Okay, smarty, go to a party. Girls are stand to the crowd and showing body. A chick walks by you, wish you the section. Standing on the wall like you was Poindexter. Next day's function, high class luncheon. Food is served and you're stone cold munching. Music comes on, people start to dance, but then you ate so much you split your pants. A girl starts walking, guy starts walking. Sits down next to you and starts talking. Says she wanna dance cause she likes the grooves. Come on, fatso, and just bust the move. Condition, looking for love in all the wrong places. No fine girls, just ugly faces. From frustration, first inclination is to become a monk and leave the situation. But every dark tunnel has a light of hope, so don't hang yourself with a celibate rope. New movies showing, so you're going. Could care less about the vibe you're blowing. Theater gets dark just to start the show. Then you spot a fine woman sitting in your row. She's dressed in yellow. She says hello. Come sit next to me, you fine fellow. You run over there without a second to lose. And what comes next? Hey, bust the move. I got, baby, I just bust the move. Baby, in the city, ladies look pretty. Guys tell jokes so they can seem witty. Tell a funny joke just to get some play. Then you try to make a move and she says no way. Girls are faking, goodness saking. They want a man who brings home the bacon. Got no money and you got no car, then you got no woman. And there you are. Some girls are sadistic, materialistic. Looking for a man makes them opportunistic. They're lying on the beach, perpetrating a tan so that a brother with money can be their man. So on the beach you're strolling, real high rolling. Everything you have is yours and not stolen. A girl runs up with something to prove, so don't just stand there, bust the move. Break it down for me, fellas. A brother Larry, in 5 days from now he's gonna marry. He's hoping you can make it there if you can, cause in the ceremony you'll be the best man. You say neato, check your libido, and roll to the church in your new tuxedo. The bride walks down just to start the wedding, and there's one more girl you won't be getting. So you start thinking, then you start clicking. A bridemaid looks and thinks that you're winking. She thinks you're kinda cute, so she winks back, and now you're feeling really firm cause the girl is stacked. Reception's jumping, bass is pumping. Look at the girl and your heart starts thumping. Says she wanna dance to a different groove. Now you don't want to do, so you bust the move.
Yeah. All right, we're back. Speaking of bus, I'm looking at a clip with Jane Mansfield. Wow, that was a funny clip.
Yeah, she can bust a move. She's got hips for a white woman. She's got hips big enough to attract.
She was, as they say, Rome wasn't built in a day, but she was built.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. I saw Bingo bust a move today on my walk. That was pretty interesting. He saw a cat, and I guess he detected some fear in the cat of him, which he doesn't usually detect, but once in a while he spots it, and then he charged the cat, and the cat ran off.
Tough guy.
But it was nice. It was nice seeing him get that little virility back.
Tough guy.
Doesn't happen very often now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're back, and we're not going to talk any more racing. I guess we kind of went through
unless
that.
Abe's got some more to cover on the racing.
But did you like my little tribute to Buddy Baker? Right? Did you watch any of that? I know it's a little long, but
I absolutely did.
Yeah.
It was a good clip. It looks like an older show about where they kind of interview and follow the lives of some of the NASCAR drivers or some of the greats.
Yeah.
And it was really nice that they, what a great show. What a fantastic show to have back in the 70s. I don't think we have something like that today.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it was just
think
great.
it was-
And he just loved his boat. My goodness, did he love his boat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he loved his boat. He loved fishing, and he
had
was,
a beautiful lake house, which I think he took great pride in. I think that was one of the highlights from the video was how much he enjoys his time off, or you could say he values his time off the track just as much as he values his time on the track. And being part of a racing family, that was just fantastic. That you have, you do have to separate, your personal life from your racing life. And if you can find something where you can be at peace with yourself, such as he found fishing as kind of his hideaway.
Well, that and the chocolate brown
he-
shag carpeting in the home. Yeah, I'm sure he was very at home with that.
Well, and he did have a beautiful house, and he had all these Asian antiques and Asian art inside his house. It was very interesting. I wasn't expecting that. I was thinking, something more Western or something more cowboyish. But he was actually
that's what I would've
just
figured.
really,
Okay.
it was like Asian art.
Oh, wow.
Asian art, Asian pots, Asian paintings, Asian stuff. And he just happened to go
He
to
had
a
Asian
friend's house.
pot?
And he loved
Thai stick.
his friend's house decorated like that. So
Yeah, the stuff that's tied to a stick.
I really like this guy.
Yeah. The stuff they tied to a stick.
They did a good job profiling those race car drivers in those days, and that's important because it gets an image out there for people to follow, and it can really help the sport.
You okay?
Oh
over
yeah,
there?
and it reminded me a little bit of his lake house of Elvis Presley's home in Memphis at Graceland. He had a beautiful jungle room, for example, in his house that was just very tropical looking, and I guess it wasn't too far of a departure back in the 70s to have really a Asian tropical type theme inside your house. That I think is absolutely beautiful, and it adds to the wood and the charm. And so it was a great video. Thank you for sharing. By the way, that video was posted on the Chabdog Facebook group. So if you haven't joined the Chabdog Facebook group and you want to have a little bit of Chabdog throughout the week, maybe sign up for the Facebook group. And you can see some of the extra stuff that we got going on throughout the week.
Yeah. Speaking of
different posting, what we do.
Speaking of stuff, we have we're gonna start promoting this company called Global. Let's see, Global Active Company.
Hold on.
Global Active Trading Company.
No. Hold on. Let's start again.
What?
Thank you. Get out.
Okay, ready?
I'm just trying to segue into this.
Lie. Hello.
Okay, one more time.
Sarah Connor.
We've got a relationship now with Global Active Trading Company, and they do all sorts of excellent stuff with uniforms and customized sports gear. So there are going to be some pretty cool jerseys that they're going to do one for me, and if you guys are interested with your favorite NFL team and whatever you want on the back, I'm going to have 420, and it'll say Chabdog.
For a Steelers jersey.
Yeah, no, yeah. What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I saw the picture, so I was
yeah.
I don't think it was a Raiders jersey, but it was in black.
It was gold and black. Yellow, black.
Yeah,
so.
yellow and black. Yeah, those are Pittsburgh colors. Or it could be Jacksonville Jaguars. Who knows?
Yeah. So.
And Abe, you're a Packers fan, aren't you?
That is correct. I'm a Packers fan, and of course, this is an interesting week for me. But I'm thinking about NJ Tank 99 on the back of my jersey.
What is it?
You go NJ Tank 99.
Oh, okay.
NJ Tank 99.
See, that'll make me even more likely to mix them up or something. But I was thinking of Miranda rights. How about Miranda rights?
That's one of the reasons Lenny Dystra and I are on Twitter. He follows me. I follow Lenny Dystra.
Oh, you know Nails?
Well, I don't know Nails like personally, but we're I guess in the Twitter. He follows me. I follow him, and part of the reason he follows me, and to get to the Miranda rights, was because he had. Remember when he got arrested a few years back? Now,
yeah. Which
he
time?
Had gotten arrested
which one?
And I the last one.
Okay.
The last one
Yeah,
that
I
he
remember.
had, I believe, was a couple of years ago. It was the most recent one. And he had actually was the day after that he had gotten arrested, or a couple of days afterwards that he had gotten arrested. I had sent something. I tagged him on something with Frank, and he responded back. And what he liked was that he had gotten arrested a couple of days before, and then this guy with the Miranda rights or the Miranda last name was reaching out to him, and he found it funny.
Yeah.
And I guess that gained me a Twitter follower, and of course from Nails. I mean, I'm honored. So if you're listening, Nails, thank you.
Yeah.
Gave me ammunition for this Miranda rights story. So if anything, thank you for a good story, and that's how it ties to that name. So
okay over there?
It's either Miranda rights or Miranda waiver.
I got the fucking munchies real bad. How about you?
Miranda waiver. That's kind of harsh.
Waiver?
Waivers in the NFL are bad.
Yeah, you can't waive your Miranda rights, can you?
Yeah, you can.
Well, yeah, I guess you have the right to remain silent, and if you choose not to take that right, then you're waiving them, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a Miranda waiver.
I confess to everything. I confess.
I remember that from law school. It's one of the few things
11
that sticks in my mind.
I'm only kidding with you.
Could really use some blueberry pancakes. So could Bingo.
You know he's going to suck.
I don't know if there's anywhere I can go for blueberry pancakes for brunch, but
You okay over there?
I'll try.
Hey, old man. I got the fucking munchies real bad. How about you?
Nice.
Now he's looking at the dog again.
Hey, Jack. Have that bitch make me some blueberry pancakes. Right now.
The dog had great eyebrows.
Was it real, or was he hallucinating that? Who knows?
I've often had visions of Bingo talking to me.
So you know what else was in the news this week? You know, Abe, did you hear the latest person who's going to be running for governor of California, along with and running against Caitlyn Jenner?
You know, this thing is just a circus. Please enlighten me.
Only in
Enlighten me,
California.
'cause it's always going to be.
Hey, why not?
California.
Why not?
Who do we got?
Okay,
Who do we have?
We got the next up is Randy Quaid, and here's his campaign.
Now, how old are you, little one?
Story.
She was born without a tongue, Clark. But don't you worry about her. She whistles like a bird and eats like a horse.
Now, wouldn't you know it, the Army cuts my disability pension because they said that the plate in my head wasn't big enough.
Easy. Yeah, you folks didn't get to meet Dinky last night. He had the shit, so he slept in the barn.
Hey. Oh, Eddie, you shouldn't have. You really shouldn't have.
Oh, those are great, Dad.
Quiet down, Russ.
Try him on.
No, I don't want to get him dirty.
I told you you wouldn't like him, Eddie.
I love him, Eddie.
I knew you did because the last time I saw you, Clark, you remarked about how much you like mine.
Well, I guess we better be going up.
Yeah.
Something about her.
Bye,
Bye, Ellen.
Bye, Clark. It was
Goodbye.
great having
Oh,
you.
thank
you. Have you got a kiss for me? You better take a rain check on
She
that.
was in
All right,
that
he's
Guide
got
to a
lip
Married
fungus,
Man
ain't
movie.
identified
She
yet.
was the wife.
Yeah, no.
You remember Ruby Sue?
I'll talk to you about
Oh, my gosh.
it. You remember the scene.
Her eyes aren't crossed anymore.
That's something, ain't it? Huh? She falls in a well, eyes go across. She gets kicked by a mule, they go back to normal. I don't know.
They got to show the one in
And
the
this here's our
buffet
pride
in
and joy.
Vegas.
Snot.
That's the best.
Pretty name, Ed.
Yeah, we named him that because he's got this sinus condition.
What's that?
Snot, you roll over and let Uncle Clark scratch your belly.
We were gonna call, but Eddie wanted to make it a surprise.
Yeah, you surprised?
Surprised, Eddie? If I woke up tomorrow with my head sewn to the carpet, I wouldn't be more surprised than I am right now.
You get out of there. Come, get in the kitchen now. Get in the kitchen there. Get you something to eat. Go on.
Snots.
He's cute, ain't he? Only problem is he's got a little bit of Mississippi leghound in him. If the mood catches him right, he'll grab your leg and just go to town. You don't want him around if you wear short pants, if you know what I mean. A word of warning, though, if he does lay into you, it's best to just let him finish.
Just can't believe you're actually standing here in my living room, Eddie. Never thought the day would come.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, too. Shitter was full!
He's drinking,
Hey,
drinking
kids.
a Meisterbrow.
I heard on the news that an airline pilot spotted Santa's sled on its way in from New York.
You serious, Clark?
Uh-oh.
I told you had too many plugs in one outlet.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no.
That thing had 9 lives. She just spent them all. Woo!
It's a 1-year membership in the Jelly of the Month Club.
Oh, God.
Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year. Oh, man, it is a blazer
He's been
out
in a
there.
lot of movies,
You're
by the
lucky
way.
you got air
Not just
conditioning in here
National
like
Lampoon,
Mother
I mean.
Nature intended. And here's the best part.
Independence Day.
Thanks to
He's
that
one of those
defective
guys
plate
that
they put in
shows
my
up in
head,
a lot of things.
the
He's
VA
an
gave me a
Independence
huge
Day.
pot of old government land just north of town.
I just saw something.
Oh,
he was
yeah,
in.
every
I was
time
like,
I
I
belch,
had no idea.
the plate shifts and my legs give out, but man, what a view.
19.
20. Oh, he's good. He's good.
Another 100 and chips, please.
Changing 100?
That's it, Clark. Show him who's boss. It's people like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town, not this pretty boy.
Whoa! Oh, gee.
I can't believe it. I've lost $300 in 15 minutes?
Ellen. Oh.
Eddie, don't you worry about radiation?
All I know, Clark, is that my teeth have never been whiter and my garden is spitting out 50-pound tomatoes.
You need help with the grill, Eddie?
No thanks, Clark. Don't have one.
The grill. Oh, my God. That's the grill.
I'll get the tongs.
Ah,
look who's home. This one here is my pride and joy.
Lord is my kindness, I hate this heat! If it isn't gluing your butt to the truck seat, it's making you sweat like a farm animal. And I want something better!
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
You remember your cousin Vicky, don't you, Russ? Yeah, she's a dancer now. Her picture's everywhere. Phone booths, men's rooms. She's famous. Show him that little move I taught you there, pork chop.
Got a pole now. Riding a pole.
In the desert, out of nowhere.
Don't think unnatural thoughts about your cousin, Russ.
You're a pretty good pole dancer yourself, Deborah.
Yeah, I've done that.
She's got her mama's looks and her daddy's sense of balance. Hose down now, kids.
He probably did it
Chicken's
too. He had a
almost
good
ready.
sense of balance.
I ain't seen a beating like that since somebody stuck a banana in my pants and turned the monkey loose.
Oh, the buffet scene.
I am your damn guide, Arnie. Now, I'm about to take you through a fully
They didn't show the whole
power
scene.
plant. So
Whole different
please,
scene.
no one wander off the damn tour. And please take all the damn pictures you want. Now, are there any
I
damn
don't
questions?
even remember this one.
Yeah, we're gonna get some damn bait.
Yeah,
Oh my God! It's Wayne Newton. I'm a fan, sir. I am a fan. I can't believe I'm standing next to you.
Well, here, take my seat, Eddie.
Thank you very much for the drink, Wayne.
Okay, good night, Wayne.
Do you need a bodyguard? I'd die for you.
You just can't believe it. All right,
Is
the
your
next
car
governor of
collecting
California,
dust?
everybody.
Sure.
Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid. Are we ready? Are we ready for Randy Quaid?
I think we're ready for anything.
Well, I think didn't Randy Quaid also have some legal trouble back in the
I
past?
thought he had some in the past, but it would appear it's over. I thought he was out of the country because he was fleeing the taxing authorities or something.
You know, that's who we want as governor.
Yeah, Canada
Or-
deported him back to the United
Canada
States.
forced him back.
Yep, they said, no, you have to go back to the United States. There are too many crazy
But he's
stuff.
walking around free and easy, and, you know,
Mhm.
I mean, maybe he's
Yeah, they couldn't make the
involved.
charges
Maybe it's a
stick.
legal case or something that he's just ongoing, just like Trump's tax audits.
Yeah, they look all they want. They'll find
So-
nothing. They can try.
It just adds to the circus-like atmosphere that is the California
Well, and the media.
governor's race.
Mm-hmm. Would you rather have Gavin Newsom?
I just want somebody that is going to do sensible things, and sounds like they have a plan, and is not going to, you know.
So you're saying you're for
punish
Caitlyn
me,
Jenner?
Punish me too much. So.
Oh, you're definitely for Caitlyn Jenner.
I
'Cause
have
you like
to. I
punishment,
have
right?
to hear whatever they have to say, and then make a decision.
Mm.
I'm not going to.
I like how you said they.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not going to look up a candidate for anything but their qualifications and what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Jacking off.
It is very weird seeing what Bruce Jenner, just looking at Bruce Jenner and then looking at this person. And
We love winners.
Trying to understand how they're the same person.
What are you sucking his dick?
He looks.
I don't
better
think he
as a
has one
woman.
anymore.
I thought this was America.
It is. Bruce Jenner can run for can do anything.
But when he was carrying the torch, he was the best athlete in the whole world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a great athlete.
Ever want to fight?
He was.
That's the joke.
He was.
Hey, big
yeah,
fucking
it's
tree
interesting.
for the
that
tail
you say
just
that.
arrived.
That's called bestiality.
He's got his money now.
Hey, Dick fucking Tracy.
It comes from China.
Death by blowjob.
He really does want to be Bobby Bonilla. You screwed up. Admit
What
it.
are we listening to here, Frank?
What the hell, Giannis?
Sometimes this show goes off in
Bistangos.
unimaginable tangents.
Steelers from an early age.
Do you have worms?
I'm a friend of Sierra Kana.
Eric's assembled all of these sound bites, and then we're just going through.
Just randomly play.
How can you say so much and say nothing?
Is there an algorithm to this?
How do you defend against it?
Did you give me my cheese
Well,
whiz, boy?
sure.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Give me a fucking army, you're gonna pay me. Say hello to my little friend. Talk about a fucking
Somebody else used Shinebox in
English,
a clip, and I was
motherfucker, do you
thinking
speak
of
it?
that.
Frank, did you smoke
I saw it recently.
Frank Fleming, joining us from Jersey.
I didn't know whether to throw up or smile or laugh.
It's not racist at all. No, not at all.
And then there's space docking where you take a
Maybe
shit
this
and
is
grow
where you
pussy.
play the propeller.
Well, what the
head.
hell is supposed to do, you
This is everything.
moron?
Good.
He can
This
take
is
all
history
comers.
repeating itself. That's for
Shut
sure.
that cunt's mouth or I'll come over there and fuck
Well, that's
start her
new
head.
stuff.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
You fuck with me, you fucking with your back. But the Patriots keep winning, which makes
How long can this go on?
fucking shooters don't even know. Don't you get it? It's a mystery
Let me
wrapped
stop.
in a riddle inside an
I think you
enigma.
better.
All right.
I'm getting a little anxious.
Oh, wouldn't want you to be any more anxious.
I do like you can play the propellers though.
Oh no,
Propellers.
we'll close the. I think we'll close the show with the
Oh,
propellers.
okay.
Yeah. All right, back to the show. Let's talk some draft. We haven't talked draft yet.
Oh yeah, let's do
That's
that.
a big topic.
There's one thing I'm aware of, which because usually I don't like the draft. I can just don't get
Mhm.
into it. But
Mhm.
the Steelers picked this running back that Alabama had, who was
Yes.
excellent, Najee Harris.
Yes.
So I know that people don't think running backs should be picked in the first round generally, but
Well,
I
but
think
we
this
grew
one
up in
was.
an era when, guess what? Running backs were picked in the first round. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I do.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think Najee Harris is a great
Yeah.
pick, and they had a great need at running back there, and I don't
And they
see why
didn't screw
wouldn't.
around. They just went out and got the player.
He wouldn't be there in the second round when they got to pick, so and they needed a running
Yeah.
back.
So I don't even. I should have done my homework before the show and have for you who they picked, but I don't know who else they picked.
I wrote that down. I thought I can't believe that today the draft is now like a 4-day televised event. I remember 30 years ago when it was put on for the very first time, and it was kind of like, okay, this is interesting, but it didn't get a lot of viewership. And how it's morphed from that all the way into this. Like I flipped on TV yesterday on ABC, and there's like the third round. It's like, holy crap! There's still people hanging around watching this stuff. Abe, did you stay home and watch the third round of the draft yesterday for 5 hours, wall to wall coverage?
That's unimaginable.
No, I don't think I did.
Oh, then what?
Not 5 hours.
You didn't? What kind of sports fan are you?
He's like me.
You're not a sports fan.
I'm not in football mode right
I'm
now.
studying my NASCAR. For
Yeah.
5 hours. There was a lot of things going on. We had the Derby yesterday, too.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had the qualifying races and stuff. But I did manage to, look a little bit on as far as the Green Bay Packers. I guess that was the only thing that was really standing out to me. So they went with first-round pick Eric Stokes from Georgia.
Eric Stokes from Georgia?
So I could get...
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bet you're stoked about that.
First-round pick.
Yeah. Who else did they pick?
Well, let's see. Let's see, who else did they pick? They picked Kevin King, Shandon Sullivan.
Yeah, which one's the quarterback?
Let's see. Wasn't that... Yeah, there was the quarterback because of all the drama, right?
Yeah.
We don't even know. There was a whole Aaron Rodgers drama where
Yes.
we have no idea what's going on there, right? It's just like
Yeah, so
crazy.
dude, so you're a Packers fan. Tell me what's going on. So Rodgers got the previous coach is now down in Dallas fired from Green Bay.
Mike
Sherman.
Sherman.
So yeah, it's either me or him because this isn't working. And so they got rid of Mike and sent him to Dallas. And now he gets the guy he wants, and he gets the year he wants, and he's still unhappy. So is the guy, like, is his diaper chafing his little bum because he's, like, what's his problem? Why is he so whiny and crying like a baby with a wet diaper?
Jeez.
From a Packers
I don't know.
fan.
I mean,
You're a Packers fan, don't you know?
I am. I'm a Packers fan, and it's just, you know, sometimes you just look at these things and it just boggles your mind. You go, you know, I don't know why you're having a big problem, but I mean, any of us would be happy to be in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, they make this zinc cream you can put on, zinc cream on a, you know, to reduce the chafing and help the healing there. I think maybe he needs a little bit of that, because otherwise this is just a lot of wine.
That could help.
How would you feel if he went to play for the Broncos?
Well, I would say that's you know, the Broncos could probably use a quarterback, so they're going to be okay. I mean, I think it'll be, if he goes to the Broncos, I mean, then he goes to the Broncos. I mean, it's not the first time that somebody has left their well-established team and that they've had a history, and then they've gone to the Broncos. I mean, look at
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning.
That's a prime example.
Exactly, Manning, right? So it wouldn't be the first time that they did that happened, and you know, he's doing his own thing. I mean, I don't even know him. He was on Jeopardy, so I mean, he's trying to get that as a permanent gig. So I'm not even sure if he,
I don't think
you know,
100%
committed to football at this point.
Do you think he's 100% committed to heterosexuality?
You know, I don't know. You know, maybe Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 he might be.
Because he just got engaged to a new lady, you know.
Yeah, he did, and it was interesting. It was weird because he was with Danica Patrick, right?
And she was with Tiger too.
Yeah,
yeah. The
so
face that Chabdog's making.
She likes the athletic one.
I didn't know Danica Patrick went around the track with those guys.
I feel like we're gossiping here. What is this? We're becoming The View.
I know she had a date with Aaron Rodgers.
Fats, okay.
She had Aaron Rodgers, and they had a date or something, or they were seen together, but nobody really knows what was going on there.
Probably nothing, because they're both, you know, asexual, so they're just hanging out.
Oh, gee.
You're also
jumping. Allegedly. I'm just saying, it's just lots of alleged stuff out there. I mean, the internet's full of information. Who knows what's true? So in other news this week, we did have some change in mask guidance. And the president spoke on this. I don't know if you heard it.
For those who haven't gotten their vaccination yet, especially if you're younger or think you don't need it, this is another great reason to go get vaccinated. Now. Now.
I never knew.
Yeah, well, go get vaccinated now.
Now.
Yeah, I think it's... do you think that was convincing enough, Abe? Or do you think that'll get people who are on the fence or just slow off their butts and doing it?
That, you know what, that's... I don't know. You know, it doesn't seem too motivating to me, but, you know, but we could say, hey, go out and get vaccinated. So do your thing. You know,
Grandpa
do what
Biden
you gotta do.
did his thing. Now, there's a new term. You know, sex pest was a new word I learned, and now there's a new phrase I've just learned this week called virtue signaling. Do you know what virtue signaling is, Chabdog?
No, it's like being called woke, and I don't know, some of these new words that have been
is
invented,
an attitude
that have been invented to
but woke's
explain
an
what's
woke's
going
a
on.
Way to see things, but virtue signaling is an action. What do you think is
complimenting something, saying something is praiseworthy? I mean, and that should be a model for your behavior going forward.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. And so the example it's being used in this week is with a mask. So the president comes out and there's guidance given that you don't have to wear a mask, and yet people continue to wear masks. He continued to wear his mask.
I hear
in public.
it's on the radio all the time. There's
Yeah.
all sorts of advertisements about wearing masks.
Yeah.
It's just a sub.
Even though we said if you're outdoors, you don't have to wear it. So it's back to if
So
you're wearing your
I
mask
know.
in a situation where you're told you don't have to wear it. That's how the word or the term virtue signaling is being used. Those people are virtue signaling, saying, "Well, I'm wearing a mask, because I'm."
And is really any reason for it, given the science, what we know about how this is this is spread? It just seems like the science does not support masks outside.
The science. What is the science?
Masks being required outside?
Well, if at all, but I mean, the real science. If we really wanted to be honest with it, the masks really didn't do. We're gonna, like always, it proved in 99% of the cases they did nothing. Because the particles are, a common mask, let alone a piece of cloth. The particles just flow right through it.
So it just seems statistically insignificant.
That's what it's going to prove to be. But this mask thing was all about virtue signaling. It was about who's going to listen to the government and who's not. Which side are you going to be on? When really, and the science. I mean, the science was that's a politically loaded phrase now. There's no such thing as science anymore.
It's all about virtue signaling and littering.
Littering, yes, and
so much,
we're killing
so
the
many,
dolphins
so
now
many
with all
masks on the
masks
ground. These vitally important masks just being discarded by people.
But Chabdog, you and I, and Abe to a certain degree, are three dinosaurs here. We harken back to another era, just like these fellows in the Wild Bunch.
Oh, great! I love this movie.
They harken back to an era of cowboys and robbing banks and getting away with it.
This
that
was
all
the
coming to
early
an end.
1900s.
Wild West was pretty well tamed by 1930.
Yeah.
I saw one just like it in Waco.
Hey, Pike, you know what I heard? I heard they take out one of those things up north that can fly.
No, that was a balloon, you damned old fool.
No, the old man's right. They got motors,
Ben
wings,
Johnson.
go 60 miles in less than an hour.
Driven to the border by the irresistible thrust
Orson
of
Welles
civilization
narrated.
were the remnants of the breed that had made
Awesome.
the West wild.
His voice.
If they move, kill them.
The payrolls were harder to get at.
One of my favorite actors, Robert Ryan.
The Army rode the railroad mountains.
Borgnine.
Struther Martin. Warren Oates.
But there were still a few trails for the kind who'd be cold before they
William
were tamed.
Holden.
They called them the Wild Bunch. Pike had been a gentleman of principle.
William Holden.
He still had a principle or two.
He was the most famous.
Good of anybody. We're gonna stick together just like it used to be. When you side with a man, you stay with him, and if you can't do that, you're like some animal. You're finished.
Dutch had dug for gold. He gave up digging.
How many cases did you take from the train?
16 cases of rifles. We lost one on the trail.
He stole it.
Don't
Get
know.
him.
Thornton should have been a lawyer.
Robert Ryan.
He always argued.
Hold it. Relax. It's just some champagne we ordered.
Sykes had been a gunman in his day. He still had the gun.
Edmund O'Brien was a good actor.
We gotta get him back. How?
Gorch had been trying for years. Sometimes he almost worked up to normal.
Good old Warren
I
Oates
want
with
you to
all
meet
the...
my fiance.
Sergeant Holton. That bloody porch scene was the best.
Well, Sam Peckinpah, the director. Just incredibly directing. Incredible Sam Peckinpah directing blood and gore and bullets and bodies flying everywhere.
That was just an incredible scene with the machine gun.
It was a new age of Hollywood violence.
God.
Came out, started with Bonnie and Clyde in the late 60s when the code broke down.
Oh, I love Bonnie and
Directors
Clyde.
were testing new levels, new boundaries, setting new boundaries in terms of what they could show. That's why the movies today, it's everything. Everyone can show everything anytime. There's no modesty anymore at all. Like in a video game, you see worse. Or at least as much. Speaking of video games, yeah, Abe, do you play any first-person shooter games?
Yes, I do. I actually play Overwatch when I do have time. Of course, I'm going to school and, of course, trying to follow sports. But when I do have time, I like to play Overwatch. That's a first-person shooter game.
What's your favorite weapon?
Well, in this case, I picked this character named Torbjorn, and what he's famous for doing is he constructs a turret, and the turret actually does a lot of the shooting, and you do a lot of the maintenance of the turret, and then you run around and you shoot a gun, and it has a lava or a hot metal ability that squirts out.
When you said turret, I thought of two things. I thought of toilet and turd.
That's not what I was expecting you to say.
And then you talked about having to clean it.
What?
Things shooting out of it.
Wow. You have a vivid imagination.
Yeah. What did you think of?
So I did reach out to Tank, and he wanted to say at least 5 and 10. 5 and 10 is a no trade clause. That's what Frank wanted to reply.
5 and 2.
Not sure if that's.
He said he knows what a 5-2 player is.
A
5 and 2 guy.
No trade clause.
That's a guy
He's a 5-2 player.
Does that mean a guy that you're stuck with for an indefinite period of time?
No, Tank had a very specific definition of a 5-2, and it fit in with baseball talk.
Okay, well, you could always Google it.
It was only 3 years.
You could Google it, You could Google it just like that guy in that movie Googled something that he saw in his body that he wanted to know what it was. So you can Google anything.
Well, they have a 5-tool player. It sounds like 2, but it's a 5-tool player, and that's somebody who has let's say 5 different things that they have who they excel at, like throwing and base running.
No.
And they have a hit. That's a 5-tool player.
Do you think that Tank is saying the word tool, but he's saying two, like
these
in
guys
Cousin Vinny, he can't pronounce it?
These guys are defectives in some way, and so 5 and 2 is not a compliment.
Oh, it was a compliment. No, it's a compliment.
I thought it was.
He's saying that you can.
I thought
play
he was ranting about something.
No, he's ranting that they say he's a 5-2 player. It comes up, sucks,
and he really isn't.
He really isn't. So 5-2 is a good thing, whatever it is. Yeah.
Well, Tank, that's one more reason you have to be on this show, buddy. So we know what's going on in that brilliant mind of
We'll
yours.
move the show to Thursday afternoon, so you'll be able to join us again.
We'll have to arrange something. We'll have to arrange it's a special Tank episode to put up on speaker. We can do.
We can pre-record an hour and do it with them anytime in the week, and then throw it in.
Yeah. So that's something that we'll try to do, and just to supplement the show. So we're not always speculating about Tank.
Well, that's one of our favorite pastimes. What else would we do? Speculate about Tank. Speaking of Tank, one thing I've noticed, and I don't want to go too far on this because he's probably playing it down, and maybe Abe has recognized this too, is that he says nothing political anymore. It's all sports related or drink related or other related, but nothing to do with politics one way or the other. Tank.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
No, not you.
No, because I do talk some politics, but I don't really like spending a lot of time on it, and I know that Tank has. Because it's just you alienate people one way or the other, and
that's a deliberate and smart.
That's not what we're into on this show, and I know that he's probably got a sensitive situation at Barstool where they want to be funny and they want to be entertaining, but they can't be too offensive. So they probably told him, go silent on that stuff because it's too. There's a big downside to that.
Yeah, or with little upside. Yeah.
Yeah, little upside and just potential.
That's pretty smart, isn't it, Dave?
Absolutely. I mean, I believe he actually, I think prior to really going full-time and even before that, when he was just going viral, I think he had started to
We love winners
on
Coach
sports and politics.
Sorry,
So,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely moved into a much more sports focused type of social media universe that he lives in. But it's a good thing because, Frank has always said that, sports is really your entertainment and your get out of the politics. I mean, he's always said that people go to sporting events or follow sports, and and then you have these political actions that are being done at the sporting arenas, and he was never a fan of that. And so he was never a fan of people making political statements, using their sports forum for that. He always thought that sports should be a pastime, that people go to sports to get away from politics.
Yes.
And I think that he's kind of doing his, he's doing what he preaches, right? He's preaching that, sports celebrities shouldn't just go out there or celebrities in general need to go run for politics and take control of the government, or make all these political statements, right? And I think he really doesn't want to be he wants to be a practicer of what he is preaching.
And he is. And today he's doing it. He's doing it impeccably well, but we know him from a time when he didn't. Here's a good little clip from
we
that.
didn't pull punches.
It's ridiculous. We've
This is what Frank is.
too fucking long. It's time to live our lives. The news likes fear porn. It's fear porn.
Yeah, fear porn.
They want to manipulate and control people. So we embrace the coming Marxism. Can they say that you have to accentuate the negative? The media doesn't want sanity to return.
19 million
Joe Biden
views,
wins in
is that
November,
right?
you're going to see this on November 4th.
Tank rolling through the desert there in
Like the fucking
Iraq.
cloud.
There's
And then
tank.
if he becomes president next year, it's going to be, get the change, boy! It will be like digging in the mine. Who's got a voice that sounds like this?
Yeah, he was so wound up he couldn't even speak straight. His phone couldn't even carry it.
Great
He was just
Frank
crackling the
Fleming.
lines.
Yeah. It's hard to imagine how you could go totally silent and all that stuff.
He did, and he had great. And I kind of liked his opinions too, political opinions.
Yeah.
By the way, I liked his characterizations he used to do. I actually enjoyed that line of his conversation, but I understand why he can't do it anymore. But I sure enjoyed it.
The day that we cannot speak the truth is a
Well,
sad day.
his job is to talk sports.
Yeah,
They're not paying him to talk
I know.
politics. I wish they would.
But the way people are being punished for just saying factual things.
I see in Florida they're looking to enact a state law where they'll fine websites like Facebook if they ban politicians from being able to communicate on them.
Yeah.
$254,000 a day or something like that.
There need to be consequences for doing stuff like that. If and if you're justified, then you'll be vindicated. But
I think it's a great move. Challenge it.
Yeah. So the governor there is doing some interesting things with the law.
Very interesting things there. Yeah. 'Cause nobody else will
He's
step up and do anything.
This is the kind of thing that you can look at as maybe a signal that this guy might be trying for higher office.
Well,
and so
maybe.
that's definitely a definite possibility of that guy DeSantis running.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the one that beat Abrams, right?
No. This is Florida. This is Florida.
Yeah, but didn't he beat Abrams in an election? Or
she was running.
in Georgia.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
No, he beat somebody else, another black candidate in Florida, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy was well financed. That was quite a campaign.
Mm-hmm. Well, beat him anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, we got a few minutes left, so I don't know if there's this particular clip you want to play.
I just want to play a few moments here of this in honor of. I don't have his name in front of me, sir. Maybe I can find it here. remember the Humpty Dance? Abe, you ever heard that song?
No.
Okay.
I don't. Maybe I've heard the song, but maybe not know about the Humpty
This looks like
Dance.
it's from Oakland, huh?
Yeah, so this is the Humpty Dance, and the fellow who's from the Digital Underground, and the fellow singing it just recently passed away. So in honor of him, here's the Humpty Dance.
Tommy Boy Records.
Alright, stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I look funny, but yo, I'm making money, see? So yo, world, I hope you're ready for me. Now gather round. I'm the new fool in town, and my sound's laid down by the underground.
The big
I
schnoz
drink a bottle
on.
of Hennessy you got on your shelf.
Yeah.
So just let me
It's a
introduce
brown
myself.
I'm so
My name is
offended.
Humpty.
Brown milk.
Pronounced with the Humpty. Yo, ladies, oh, how I like to funk
I'm not
me.
offended with
And all the
it.
rappers
Can't
in
be
the
offended.
top
It's a
I'm not
brown milk.
offended when Jewish people do it to themselves, but when non-Jewish people do it, I get very
Brown
offended.
when the stereos pump me. I like to rhyme. I like my beats funky.
No, I'm not offended.
I like my
I think it's
oatmeal
funny,
lumpy.
but,
I'm
you
sick
know.
with this. Straight gangster Mac.
That's a
But
pretty
sometimes
big one,
I get
actually.
ridiculous. I'll eat up all your crackers and your licorice. Oh, yo, fat girl. Come here, are you ticklish? Yeah, I called you fat. Look at me, I'm skinny.
I
And
think
never
the
stop
nose
me
is
from
actually
getting busy.
brown.
I'm a freak. I like
All right.
the girls with the boom. I once got busy in a
Burger King
bathroom. I'm crazy. Allow me to amaze thee. They say I'm ugly, but it just don't
As I
faze me.
remember, those are
I'm
called
still
Groucho
getting in the
Marx.
beats, and I even got my own
Yeah, I think you're
dance.
right.
Come on.
Ooh, baby. Yeah, rest in peace, homie. Rest in peace. He's no more. But he was a great contributor.
Speaking of homies,
Early hip-hop.
how'd you like that kind of homemaker?
Oh, you like this girl?
No one thinks I'm equipped for motherhood.
And Edmund O'Brien
Sure looks like
as the big shot who has big
Evan
ideas
O'Brien
for
was
Jane.
in the Wild
You got
Bunch.
6 weeks to have her a star.
He was the old guy.
You know, the first thing... 6 weeks?
He was.
Oh, easy, Fats. It takes
And that
time.
was the guy in 70
Rome
Minutes,
wasn't built
Tom
in a
Ewell.
day. She ain't Rome. What we're talking about is already built. All of this, plus the greatest headline entertainers of the day.
Cry me a river.
Rock,
rock, Don't you?
She was an emergency. She was the nurse in emergency.
Barry Gordon.
That's Domino.
Yeah.
Rockin' is our business, and rockin' is what we do. Oh, yeah. Rockin' is
Oh,
our
Little
business,
Richard.
and rockin' is what we do.
His song
oh,
is
yeah.
great for
Come
this
on,
movie.
everybody, we want you.
Yeah.
Platters.
You
Plant
tell now
platters
we
being-
got Don
Peacock,
Henry on
wow.
down, Jimmy
Eddie
on
Lincoln. I
there,
got big names
Gene on
here.
down, Bill Cliff and Clark
Eddie
sing and
Fontaine,
shout.
and,
Come on, everybody, get to join the line. Rockin' is our business, and rockin' is what we do.
When this living doll takes off after the guy with the itch, you'll have yourself a ball at the rockingest, rollingest, roaringest shindig that ever made the
Shindig.
screen jump with joy.
The dog can't have it, she was born to please.
That's Little Richard's song.
Poor Jane Mansfield.
You
know what happened to her?
I heard she had a tragic
Very tragic.
death where auto accident.
Yeah, her head was separated from her beautiful breast.
I would say that's
Mm-hmm.
that's a pretty bad way to go.
Yep.
We were talking about that when I opened the show, about ways to go.
Oh, is that what it was on?
Weren't you listening?
This was to be and not to be.
I was talking about my grandfather. Yes, it was my monologue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you could go with a heart attack, and
Or you could go with decapitation. I
have
suppose
like
it
a
was pretty sudden.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's an awful thought, but it's
The guillotine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Why don't you listen to it? I thought it was meaningful
Oh, I heard
personal
it.
reflection.
I heard it. You're in the
yeah.
room. Waiting for you to mention my name so I could say, hey, Chabdog. That's why it's called a monologue.
Went over my head a little, but just a little.
Mm-hmm.
Let's finish with.
Shit.
What do you think?
Get out.
Something light and. You wanted the Propeller Heads.
I wanted
right?
Propeller Heads.
That's a great song.
Well, let's talk a little bit into this. So the notion of history repeating.
Mm-hmm.
And Abe, are you old enough to start seeing that history starts repeating itself? the things that you lived through start to occur again.
Particularly since if you don't pay attention to it, if you don't understand it, it repeats itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course. It's terrible. It's really, some things are you want to repeat, and then there's some things you definitely don't want to repeat.
Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. History repeats itself. It's all cyclical, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people.
Seasonal.
Yeah. It's all seasonal. It is what it is. It's very cyclical, and things do come back. Fashion is a good example.
Yes.
It goes through its cycle, and then it comes back.
Stock markets,
recall.
investment markets.
Remember this, right? We got a recall going on, and then, of course, all the crazies come out and want to be the governor. That's not the first time we've gone through that here in California.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, and investment markets. Me being a broker and trading securities, I see this all the time. How markets, they go up and they go down, and we've gone through different trends, but they all seem to have a little something in common with things I've seen before over the last 40 years in the markets, and looking at historical charts and such. So markets turning around, politicians, political parties in control of houses and senates and such, flipping. Democrats are in, the Republicans were in before. Tastes are changing. It's all something
dirty
common.
Tricks.
But now I see, I see when it's happening again, and then I can say, okay, I've been through this before. I don't fear it as much because I know how the story ends, and it's kind of fun to see again. So that's history repeating, just like Shirley Bassey is about to sing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts? No, just thanks for listening, and we're on every Sunday, 9 to 11. Check out all the shows on Spreaker.com. And happy Cinco de Mayo. Thank you, Anna.
Yeah, since we will miss that during the weekend.
And we'll let you know who won the Kansas City NASCAR race.
Mm-hmm.
We're excited about that. Everything's up to date in Kansas City, baby. They've gone about as far as they can go. So have we.
Final thoughts, Abe?
You know what? Stay tuned. Stay tuned for all the racing updates and everything that's out on the Facebook page. And I'll go ahead and be posting some race results there later today. So if you're not part of the Facebook group, come on, click and join.
Yeah, we are part of your racing headquarters here. All sorts of racing.
Well, with that, let's go to history.
Okay.
See how history repeats here.
Bingo needs a walk. It's repeating itself.
Yes. Dog walks included.
The word is about. There's something evolving. Whatever may come, the world keeps revolving. They say the next big thing is here, that the revolution's near. But to me it seems quite clear that it's all just a little bit of history repeating. People shout, a new style is growing, but it don't know if it's coming or going. There is fashion, there is fat, some's good, Woman, man, girl and boy, feel the pain, feel the joy, and sidestep the little bits of history repeating.